What's going on, dog? How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing phenomenal. It's blessed to be on this type of podcast, man. I look at you as someone who is a big inspiration, man. Not only for us as athletes and the community, to our families, and obviously you have a spouse as well. So I mean, you're a great leader in the community for sure. It's a blessing to be here.
For sure, man. Albert, the honor is actually ours to have you on the podcast today. But I want to get right into it. I feel like a lot of people feel like they know who Isaiah Burke is, but they really don't know who Isaiah Burke is. What do you feel like people need to know about you that they don't really know about you, man, when it comes to your background, when it comes to your career path, why you choose to move the way that you move as a business owner? You're still in the sports world. I see your clips on social media. You're still getting buckets, and this is a daily thing. So tell us a little bit more about you that people don't really know.
That's a very good question, man. Believe it or not, I'm actually an introvert. I don't like being around people.
Yeah.
I'm very closed off. I had to learn the older that I got, especially being on platforms like this, that I have to be more expressive of who I am, my feelings, my thoughts, because I got to be an inspiration to people, especially where I want to go long term. It requires me to get uncomfortable, grow as a person, increase my identity, but I also used to play video games. I was a gamer.
Yeah.
I was a crazy gamer.
Okay.
Man, 2K, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Man, I used to play outside all day.
Wow.
All day. I was actually, I would go outside and come home with cuts and bruises every single day. Nobody do it. But my family was big on just, getting out there and just like throwing me out there and just figuring it out as you go. My dad's actually from Los Angeles, California. He's from Compton.
Oh, wow.
Compton, LA. Yeah, people don't even know it.
Okay.
Right. And my mom, she's from DC.
Okay.
So growing up, it was very strict.
Mm-hmm.
I could not go outside unless I did my homework, and I used to just do my homework.
Yeah.
Just
Get
to
it
go
done.
outside. Yeah.
Get it done.
And I used to play Call of Duty, right? But I used to play it at a young age. My dad did not like me playing these violent games. So my brother was actually a professional tennis player. Okay. So when they used to go out to like go train and work out, I used to sneak on the game and play Call of Duty. Okay. And my window to see my driveway was right out. I could see it while I'm playing the game. So anytime my dad would come home, I would run to the couch, act like I'm not playing the game. I was a risk taker.
Yeah.
I was bad, but I was super bad risk taker. Got into a lot of fights.
Yeah.
But I was never a bad person.
Yeah.
I was just a risky person. I like taking risks. I like shortcuts. Mm-hmm. I never understood the process of doing things. And I was also a very versatile type of person.
Gotcha.
I played tennis, basketball, of course, football.
Yeah.
I did boxing. I ran track.
Yeah.
But the one sport that people thought I was actually the best at was football. Believe it or not. Yeah.
I see you play football. You're pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. You're pretty good. You're pretty good. Much respect. You got
appreciate that. Yeah. And what's crazy is I didn't even get on the field with pads and a helmet until 9th grade.
Wow.
Till 9th grade, and then I actually went to St. Mary's. It's a school in Annapolis, Maryland. And I played slot, corner, kick return, punt return, and like third string QB, just in case.
Wow. Just in case.
Wildcat, just in case they need me to get out there. I was not throwing it. I was gonna run the ball. But I would say those are a lot of things that people don't know about me. I have a lot of talents, hidden talents, but I would say I'm really closed off to myself.
Okay. So let me get this straight. Correct me if I'm wrong. Your dad played in the NFL, and your older brother is a professional tennis player. So there's a lot of masculine energy in this household, and at a high level, these guys are performing. Did you feel that same pressure to perform coming up? Like you had to be in sports, you had to be good at sports, like because of the household dynamic, or?
No, 100%. And I never met my grandfather. He actually played for the Pirates in the MLB. Wow. My uncle played for Indiana football. I have uncles that played for Nebraska, Miami. But the reason I really had pressure put on myself is because my dad didn't even play more than a year because he had a career-ending injury. Where he messed up something. It's a spinal cord in his back. Never could play for the rest of his career. So, and especially, I know it's crazy. And nowadays it's like, if your father doesn't make it,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of like you kind of have to make it, and you know, just knowing how talented we are, like humbly speaking, like I would kind of I will regret it if I didn't take advantage of what, you know, I had. You know, God blessed me with a lot of gifts, and you know, what's crazy is I never liked working out.
Yeah.
I used to cut corners, you know, I never used to touch the line of sprints.
Yeah.
It actually cost me.
Yeah.
It actually cost me, but I realized once I got older and things were, you know, sports is a business.
I know.
You know, so the older that I got, I started to realize like it's no joke at the next level. It's no joke whatsoever.
Yeah.
Everything is a business. It was a lot of pressure, but it was what made me into who I am today.
Gotcha.
And I'm forever blessed that, you know, I was raised this way.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm gonna take that same mentality and instill it into my family when I have one.
That's strong. How much of your early identity was tied to sports?
A lot. Just like being intentional.
Yeah.
Especially when I got to college, everything was like laser focused. Like I'm talking film study, and I even heard your story. I'm not trying to like switch it, but I heard your story about how you play multiple positions. And, you know, as a point guard, I don't play multiple positions, but I have to know.
Get to know it.
I have to know every position. So when I watch film, I would not only watch my position, shooting guard, all the way down to the 5. So me just having to study and be prepared for the game, and that's actually why I came up with like proactive. Is because I have to stay ready, so I don't have to get ready.
Okay.
And you know, even when it comes to our schedule during in school, you got practice.
Yeah.
You got to be there, and if I'm a leader, I got to be there an hour before practice, get a little shot, stay after. I got treatment. You know, I got class, and not only school, but I have to sit in the front of the class. I have to be the first one. My coaches, they're sending people to come to class and check to see if you're sitting in the front of the class.
Yeah.
So I would say my identity definitely started to increase the higher that I went in sports, because if I didn't, I would embarrass myself. I would not be able to perform at the level that I'm performing, and I would pass up on a lot of opportunities because I am not shaped mentally. So I would say that's how my identity definitely played a part. And, you know, sports are just having to be prepared, you know, stretch before the games, and, you know, it's just really being prepared for war. In a sense. It's a different level of, I would say, intentionality for sure.
That makes a lot of sense. If basketball never worked out, who were you?
Oh man, and that's a lot of the reason why every time I woke up, I wanted to change my major, because it's crazy. By the time I was a senior, that's when I really started to take off. Like freshman year was slow. Sophomore year was slow. Junior year, it's like, oh, potential, boom, injury, surgery twice on my 5th metatarsal. So during these moments, I started to think deeper. And trying to figure out, okay, what is it that I was gonna be able to do? And I'm like, thank God for, you know, getting introduced to the financial services industry because to be honest, bro, I don't know.
Gotcha.
I was doing things, full transparency. I was doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing. You know, I got friends that's not here anymore. You know, I could have been dead or in jail with some of the decisions and opportunities that I was making. So I really don't know. I really don't know. I definitely said I'm a hustler though, so I would have found something that would put money in my pockets, because at the end of the day, I need resources to be able to, you know, do certain things in life. I really don't know.
I feel that. I mean, to me, you know, I started playing football when I was 4 years old. So think about playing football from the age of 4 all the way to the age of 23. That was my identity. I was a football player. Somebody asked you, what do you do? I play football. Like that was it.
Right.
And so really around COVID, 2019, 2020, where we got sent home, and I'm in Orlando, Florida. I'm in Orlando, Florida for like 6 months before the season starts. We go home on spring break. We don't come back until a couple weeks before fall camp starts. And that entire time, I'm like, dang, did I play my last game?
Sheesh.
Like, there's an identity crisis that's going on in that moment. And, you know, you were fortunate to go on to the next level after college. Like, I didn't go on to the next level. But I can imagine that when you take the high school pool of athletes, there's millions of athletes that are playing high school sports.
Right.
Millions of athletes play their last game in high school.
Oh, that was.
And then you condense it down to thousands of athletes, right? Who make it to the Division I level and play sports.
Right.
And then thousands of athletes play their last game in college.
Right.
Then there's hundreds, in basketball, right? Basketball, hundreds. Football, there's potentially thousands. In football, there's 30-something teams, up to 70 people on the roster. So they just barely squeaked it out. Over 1,000 people make it to the NFL, but there's hundreds in the NBA. It's not that many people on a roster in the NBA, right? So that's one thing that I know athletes have to face is that identity crisis. So you got to a point in your life. Can you tell us about that journey to where you're playing basketball, but you're kind of forced in this corner to make a decision? You're forced to make a decision. Can you talk about the journey up until that point, and then talk a little bit about the decision and why you made the decision that you made?
Yeah, no, again, phenomenal question. So, not really.
I'm gonna keep them coming, bro. I'm gonna keep them coming.
So, it's crazy because when I was coming up in high school, super underrated. It's times where I would try out for teams, get cut. It's times where I would be on the team and then they cut me. So not only trials getting cut, not even making the team, then I'm making the team, then I'm getting cut. It was tough. I'm like, man. Yeah. So, coming up, I have faced a lot of adversity. Trying out for different teams, and I'm talking about, during high school.
Yeah.
They have circuit teams, then they have, other teams that, you go on the road, but it's not the games that are in front of, the high major schools, mid-major schools. So it was times where I got cut from teams before I even made the team. There was times I would, make the team, be on the team, performing, get cut from the team. So I've always had this thought of like, is this for me? Should I continue? But like, it created a competitive spirit in me. And, I'm big, like, I don't know, something about adversity just like gets me going. And I track towards it.
Gotcha.
So as much as there was moments where I was like, is this for me? I'm not sure. I knew if other people could do it, I could do it. It was just me. It was just me not, putting my all into my development as a player. I should have worked out more. I should have took care of my body more. I should have watched film more. And it got to the point where I'm like, let me just lock in.
Yeah.
Let me just lock in. It can't be that hard. Yeah, there's 1% of the world doing it, but somebody's doing it.
Yeah.
I should probably, take it in consideration that I need to study more. I need to be a student of the game. So once I started getting to the point in sports where I had to make that decision, it was just me making a decision to make a change. It's like when I'm thinking about it, I'm sitting there like contradicting myself. It's like all I have to do is just do it. Yeah. Why am I sitting here trying to question? I'm this far. I might as well just crawl. And then I'm thinking about, okay, cool. If I do go play professionally, what can that do for the credibility of who I am as a person? I made it Division I. Okay, less than 1% of people make it Division I. Okay, cool. Then it gets to the point, all right, cool, I'm averaging 20 a game. It's like, all right, bet. Averaging 20 a game. All right, I'm ranked in the nation, an HBCU All-Star. I'm like, I could probably play professionally. Yeah. But I always, had the moment of not being sure because this explosion in my career didn't happen until I was a senior. So I tried a lot of stuff. I tried trading. It was a point in time I even went live on Twitch. Right, because I used to play video games, so I used to be on Warzone. I'm like, all right, bet I'm gonna do it like this. And then even I had a French bulldog, so it was to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna open up a French bulldog kennel, and this is something I still plan on doing, but I needed capital. I didn't have the capital, and there was nothing that I was necessarily doing at the time to make money the right way to be able to do it. Then it was like, all right, cool, let me try making music. All right, so then I started, being an artist. So I tried different things and it wasn't bad. I performed I opened up for Moneybag Yo.
Wow.
I performed at Homecoming. I performed at Bowie State's. It's crazy. People don't even know. I performed at Bowie State's Homecoming. I've had features with artists. I've done pop-up shops. I was on the ESPN commercial. I was on the Under Armour commercial. Modeling for different clothing lines. So I was a hustler. Like as much as I was trying to figure out what decision I wanted to make, I never put all my eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
You know, so this also taught me a lot about being an athlete and how we have so much, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? I always say it. I know the word.
Versatility. I don't know.
Yeah. Bro, I say this word all the time. I just drew a blank. What's the word? Influence. What the heck? Influence. Okay, boom.
Yeah.
So athletes have so much influence.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we're not taught how to monetize our social media platforms. Yeah. A lot of these athletes have so much influence and we don't know. We're not being taught. There's not a course in school like, hey, let's sit down with you. Let's show you how to monetize your platform. Let's show you how to open up an LLC so you can, you always say minimize these things. Hey. So it's like a lot of people are, getting taken advantage of when it comes to NIL deals and potentially messing up their personal brand and not knowing how to steward the income that they're getting.
Yeah.
And I think there should be a course. I think I think coaches and organizations should bring people like, yourself or myself in to actually provide that for these athletes because they don't have it.
They don't have that.
So while I am understanding the influence that I have, I don't even know how to use it. I don't know how to use it.
Gotcha.
I'm on all these commercials, things of that nature. I'm just winging it. Like I started vlogging. I pretty much vlogged my whole senior year. But I didn't know my target audience.
Exactly.
I didn't know how much money I should put behind it. So I've had different ideas of doing different things, but I knew if I did pursue my career as a professional athlete, it would give me even more influence.
Yeah.
So once I did get overseas, I took a deep dive into social media platforms, promoting myself. And, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. And then I don't think if I did take the time to go overseas and play professional basketball, this opportunity wouldn't have came across my way either.
Yeah.
So I know I went, all over the place.
That's good. That's good. I mean, you're doing all these different things. I heard you're vlogging, you're modeling, you're playing basketball, you're rapping, you're trading, you're going live on Twitch. What are you chasing? Are you chasing passion? Are you chasing security? What were you chasing?
Bro, I was chasing. It's crazy. I enjoy all those things. I enjoy all those things, and I was good at all those things too. But I know I can't do all those things. I can't. It's just, it wasn't smart for me to do all. I can, but you're not going to maximize your true potential. That's why it's like you should always do one thing, go all in, then branch off once you're established. I didn't understand. I'm thinking I should have multiple streams of income. But I wasn't making no income. I couldn't even jumpstart anything because I was over here, then I was over here, then I was over here. Then I'm like, man, let me just lock in and focus on one thing, generate the revenue from that one thing, and then go branch off and invest in these other things. And like you said, people that are good at what I'm not good at, collaborations, partnerships, hiring, recruiting, whatever you want to call it. That's what I started to realize.
Got you.
At this point.
Yeah, I think that's a good point that you bring up because majority of the wealthy people that I know, they said the same lesson to me over and over and over and over and over again. Real wealth is built through concentration and it is protected through diversification. So do millionaires have 7 streams of income? Yes. Did they become millionaires by having some 7 streams of income? Absolutely not. If I put 20% here and 20% here and 20% here and 20% here and 20% here, like you said, I am not maximizing any one of those opportunities. I can't give 100% of myself to any one of those things. So how can I get the maximum output?
Exactly.
I'm getting low volume output from all of those different sources. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people need to understand is where does the highest return on my effort come from? People are looking at return on my income. They need to look at return on your effort.
Sheesh. Facts.
How much? All right, so you go overseas, man. You're literally isolated. You're by yourself.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, what happens then? What do you have to do? What are the things that you had to change in your life? Because I mean, your environment is totally different.
Mm.
You came from, the Prince George's County, Morgan State. You're going to these tryouts and things of that nature, but you're kind of in a bubble that you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Did going overseas, did that put you somewhere where you were uncomfortable and you were kind of forced to change?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of brings me to the employee versus entrepreneurship mindset, because I was always controlled in school by my schedule. So when I got overseas, it went from student athlete to just athlete. So the times where I used to go to class, I didn't go to class anymore. So I would have so much time on my hands. I'm like, bro, what do I do? I'm so used to being told and programmed what to do. Now that I have time on my hands, how can I reinvent myself? How can I go through a recreation mode and really break out of that mindset? So that's when, like I was saying, like, I think God really spoke to me. It was like, I feel like you were placed here in Greece. Mind you, people don't go to Greece for playing overseas. Like, I had a great opportunity, like, and I'm truly blessed. Like,
Santorini, it's like Greece. It's like, did you used to live in like one of those white, yo, bro, like when people dream about vacationing, you were
there,
living there.
Man, I had my own car, my own apartment.
Whoa.
They fed me 3 times a day. I used to go to the EuroLeague games and sit courtside, bro.
Whoa.
Yes, all the bro, there's nothing like the fans in like other countries, bro. They're crazy. Flags, yelling, chants, like the floor is literally shaking while the game is going on. But this was the opportunity I had. I was out there. I traveled to Mykonos, Santorini. I lived in Athens. Okay. Athens is like the I'm not gonna lie, it's like the turn up park of Greece. So man, clubs, man, I knew the security guards, I knew the DJs, man. I'm telling you, like, and it was crazy because I started building relationships with other players on other teams. And I kind of, like, no offense, I love all my teammates. I love the people that I was playing against, but I could tell that I was recreating myself and reinventing myself. Wow. And other people were distracted. Distracted. And that's one of the most dangerous things about traveling to these other countries, and especially when you're in a good city. Like, think about going to the DR and playing out there. Like, bro, it's a lot of things that you can get pulled in to different directions, and nobody's seeing what you're doing. You can easily hide things, but they'll start to reflect in your life. And I would say that time that I was by myself, isolated, alone, I really learned who Isaiah Burke really was. And I realized that I was bigger than who I was at the time. And, I got started in the financial services industry before I went over there. And, I went to different conventions, like Train the Trainers. I went to a big event. I went to 2 major conventions where I started to see that I can compress my time and what I wanted to do long term based off of the mentorship I was getting, the knowledge I was getting. And when I went overseas, I realized that proximity was so key. And I didn't have it anymore.
Man, I'm telling you.
I'm like,
I say that a lot, man. I say proximity is invaluable. It's invaluable. Yeah. And the crazy thing is did you have to pay to get proximity to people? Like, what did you do?
Man, I didn't have to pay, well, okay. Is that a trick question?
No, it's not a trick question, bro. Okay. I mean, what did you do? Was it like just, hey, come here, welcome open arms, or is there like okay, like, is it some type of separation? Like, what?
So, no, that's a great question. So I'll give you the perfect analogy about a GPS, right? There's 3 different ways to get to a destination. Okay. Right? And it's crazy because when I was on the way here, Virginia's like 45 minutes from where I'm at. And I'm like, all right, cool. There's 3 different routes. I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, all right, cool. I want to be on time. So it had the first route. The first route is the toll route. Yeah. Where you have to pay. Yeah. The second route, it's not the toll route, but it may take an extra 10, 15 minutes, maybe more traffic. Yeah. And then you got the route with the back roads. You may get a flat tire and everything. So I said, man, I want to get here as fast as possible. I don't mind paying the toll.
Don't mind.
Because I can get to that destination faster. So
Okay.
it was a point in time where I did have to invest in myself
Okay.
to get in specific rooms, but the cost is very small. The cost is very small. And I didn't know getting involved in the financial services industry, getting a license to be able to educate people on financial literacy would get me in rooms that probably normal people have to pay thousands of dollars for. I was getting in those rooms for probably like less than $400.
Okay. All right. So total investment into getting into financial services, what did you invest?
$199 to get access to the platform. Most people when they invest in a business, it requires a bunch of capital. It's like a pair of Jordans, right? But what that gave me access to was CRM systems, AI equipment, my own professional website, my own business phone number, business email, a lot of things that people don't even know where to go or how to create. It was a system already in place for me to get these things.
Okay.
I got my state license, right, in Maryland, right, which was like $50? I don't know.
$50 for a state license.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, bro.
Okay.
You know, I started about doing real estate. Not to real estate, but I realized like you have to get a license in another state. Not only do you have to take another test, but it also is, it costs more. So this was like low cost, and then the market for financial services is wide open. Like, nobody's really helping people when it comes to financial literacy. So
got you.
In total, like $300.
$300. Okay. Now let's talk about basketball camps. AAU, like traveling, hotels, like what was it like in total investment you put into playing the game of basketball? Personal trainers,
bro. Thousands. And what's crazy is when you play AAU, you have a travel team, and then you have the circuit. The circuit is everything is for free.
Wow.
Like everything's for free. Like these are ranked ESPN players. Everything's for free, and then you have the travel team. You have to pay. So I mean, I wasn't on the track. I mean, I wasn't on the circuit team. I was only on it 1 year out of my whole time in high school. So for 3-4 years, I was paying, bro.
Wow.
I was paying thousands to get in rooms.
Okay.
Thousands.
Bro, I'm an athlete, man.
Thousands.
I love playing sports. I love it. But outside of the intangibles, discipline, mindset, work ethic, morals, values, like outside of those things, what would you say total return that the game gave back to you?
My contract overseas, influence. That was really good.
Overseas contract.
Overseas, and it was, and if you know, you know, and it's crazy. If people don't even know, in the G League, the average salary is like $50K.
Wow.
Without including taxes.
So you still have to pay taxes on, like as an athlete.
Yeah, every state that you play in.
Every state that you play in.
Every state that you play in. Once you go on the West Coast, it's more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's $50K, but you really only take home 35. And let's be real, you're around NBA players.
Yeah.
You don't think you're gonna spend.
You gotta wear the same clothes that they wear. That's interesting, man. I was in Gucci. And I was shopping. We were shopping for my wife, looking for some things, and there was a athlete in the room, no longer in the NFL, but he is on the rehab path and is trying out for different USFL, XFL teams, CFL, things like that. And he also has, his girlfriend in there. And I'm like, man, wow, this is awesome. We don't really see this, very often. What do you do? He's like, I'm an athlete, play football, he play receiver. I'm like, I respect, I play DB. So obviously you're sizing them up. Things right. But you don't see that type of stuff very often. Right. And it got me kind of thinking, what does he do? Like, so I was asking, like, you're rehabbing.
Right.
But come to find out, he also owned a business.
So he wasn't window shopping.
Nah.
He actually, okay, I get it.
His business was doing revenue of about $30,000 to $40,000 a month. And so he actually came up to us, because we were talking with an older couple just
Right.
about retirement and things like that. Man,
Yeah.
we were just chit-chatting. Gucci,
Yeah,
bro.
nah, it makes sense.
We were just
It makes sense.
chit-chatting.
It sounds like me.
We were just chit-chatting. You know, we were waiting for the concierge to come back out with our stuff.
Jeez.
And he said, "Hey, man, do you have a business card?" I was like, yeah. And then he was like, you know, I would like to learn about money and financial literacy. I would like to learn, you know, how, because there's nobody out here that's
Right.
teaching us these
Right,
things. I have a
right.
business and I want to learn more.
Mhm.
I said, "Oh, okay, cool." So we exchanged information. But why do you feel like it is so important for athletes to build something outside of the game?
Man, that's I love this question.
Mhm.
I love this question because they don't believe it until it happens.
Mhm.
And that's why I like proactive, like
Yeah.
being ready so you don't have to get ready,
Yeah.
not putting all your eggs in one basket. Like I said, I only spend 5 hours of my day, 6 hours of my day, like mentally in the sport.
Mhm.
And, you know, I think it's very important because you're controlled by salaries.
Mhm.
You're controlled by coaches. You're
Mhm.
controlled by GMs.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's crazy. You can be averaging 20 a game,
Mhm.
but your team is at the bottom of the leaderboards. You're ranked, it's 10 teams in the league, 12 teams in the league. You're second worst team in the league, last team in the league. So
Yeah.
they can easily remove you from the situation and fire you.
Mhm.
And now you're stuck trying to figure out where you're going next. And
Yeah.
then, you know, me, I got injured twice. My
Mhm.
fifth metatarsal. I mean, I was in college,
Yeah.
you know, I was on scholarship, but when you're a professional,
Oh yeah.
they don't care.
Okay.
And then you go undrafted, now
Yeah.
you're overseas. It's like, they don't owe you anything.
Yeah.
They don't owe you anything. And a lot of times, and that's why I said, like, I could tell people I was hanging around, other athletes, I
Yeah.
can tell they didn't have anything else established
Mhm.
because they spent their life in
Yeah.
the gym.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with spending your life in the gym,
Yeah.
but what do you have on the side?
Yeah.
And you have that sense of comfort, you know, him being able to walk in the store and not, you
Mhm.
know, just going there, oh, I'm thinking about getting this. Like, no, you want it, I buy it.
She walked up. She said, "Hey, can we get these?" Yeah.
Yeah,
Go get that. That's how it was.
But
Yeah.
it's important.
Okay. And so, can you tell us the difference between talent and skills, right? Because a lot of athletes are very talented, but they don't have much skills, and that's kind of why they fall into that trap of needing the game, or when they get out of the game, not understanding what they do because they don't have any skills. Like for you, you know, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like how do you delineate those, and how do
Yeah.
you break that down?
Yeah, so I was one of those people. I was very talented, but I never liked to work on my game, right? And it's crazy. This actually played a part in when it came to leadership and speaking up. You know, as an athlete, you have to be very, very vocal.
Yeah.
And, you know, I thought just scoring, I thought just getting assists, I thought just getting steals was enough, but I never developed any skills that I needed in the real world. I mean, okay, let me not say I never developed any skills, but there's levels to skills,
Exactly. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and once I got into the real world, I realized that, nah, man, I gotta read more books, bro. I gotta get in more rooms, you know.
Yeah.
I need a mentor.
Yeah.
Right. I need somebody to show me how to compress my time. But the skills definitely came from being a student of increasing my identity, like reinvention mode, recreation mode. And then even reading the Bible, man.
Wow.
Reading the Bible.
It'll tell you a lot about yourself.
Yeah. The Bible has everything in it, you know?
Cool.
So
how does that prepare you for business?
Yeah.
For you?
Yeah. So for me, for example, if I practice at 1 p.m. and I show up at 1 p.m., I'm not on time.
No.
I'm late.
Yeah.
So just being able to get there 30 minutes in advance, 45 minutes in advance, an hour in advance, like Kobe, LeBron, their mentality, bro, they will show up at a game 5-6 hours before the game starts, just to mentally prepare, you know, go over the routines, you know, walk yourself through what you're actually going to do in the game, you know, creating like psychologically acting like you're getting double teamed, you know. I would say that definitely helped me and prepare me in the real world, I would say being coachable. Just understanding that I have a coach for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, I'm good at putting the ball in the basket, but like he sees things that I don't see.
Yeah.
And having a coach, it taught me that I truly need that in my life, and I'm not too good to know everything. And you know, if I'm coachable and you know, and I'm urgent about, you know, getting to that next level, it'll actually help me for sure.
That's solid. That's solid. And so let's talk about the mentality of averaging 20 a game, right? Well, what take us into that? Because then I'm going to translate this into the business world. But I want to know, like, was that something you were tracking, like making sure your average didn't fall below that, or was that just something that it was innate? Like that was your lifestyle. Like I'm stepping on the court, I'm not even thinking about scoring 20. I'm a bucket and I'm getting 20.
Sometimes you don't know how good you are until somebody tells you. Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you don't know where you're at until somebody tells you. And, you know, I realized that the more points I was scoring, the more games we were winning. So I started, you try not to track how many points you're scoring, but it got to the point where if I don't score a certain amount of points, we're not going to win this game.
Okay.
If I don't have a certain amount of assists, we're not going to win this game. But I would say what helped me score 20 points per game was just, I was just pissed off, bro. Like I turned my pain into production, bro. Like I created enemies, you know, people that said I wasn't going to be anything, like, and that's why, like, this year when we started creating our vision boards and we had one for inspiration, one, you know, for encouragement, you know, enemies, I used that without using it. I didn't have it painted on the board on my wall, but in my head, I'm like, all those teams who cut me, you know, my parents got divorced, like, you know, I have friends that passed away. So I turned my pain into production. I let go of certain things that were distracting me and pulling me in different directions. And once I started doing that, it gave me that relentless mentality.
Gotcha.
And I said, man, if this has to work. This, I'm a senior. I'm leaving it all on the floor. But I wish I did it earlier. I waited too long to turn on that switch and keep it on and start creating the systems in place where I can stay consistent.
They say that the thing that people have the hardest time dealing with change is that when they make the decision to change and they realize the results will change, they realize they should have changed a long time ago. And that regret, like, dang, I should have did that. Okay, so that relentless mentality, that killer instinct, did you take that with you into business? Like, does it help you in business? Like, if I'm an athlete thinking about potentially starting a business, how do I have an edge? How does this competitive environment that I have on the field, on the court, in the arena, how does that translate to entrepreneurship, capitalism, like the business? Like, do you use that?
Yeah, of course. You know, no one ever wants to be on a losing team.
Oh, yeah.
No one ever wants to be on a losing team. So when you come into business, I'm thinking like, all right, cool. I'm going to war with my team. You know, we're going to take out the giant. We're going to take out the person that's number one because we need to be number one. When you're number one, your lifestyle increases. My bad. When you're number one, your lifestyle increases. You make more money. You get into more rooms. You get favor from people who are, you know, it could be investors. You know, it could be, you know, people of major influence. You know, that want to partake in the vision that you have. And, you know, I learned that competing require me to expand my vision. And if my vision is big enough for other people to fit in it, it could give me an edge. And even when it comes to winning a championship, like Kobe, Michael, these people are like insane. Like these people are crazy in the head, like believing that they can win a championship every single year, believing that I can be first team, believing I can, you know, lead my team to get to their next. So I was saying taking that athletic competitive spirit into business. People want to be in business with me because, you know, I'm competing and I'm not only competing for myself, but I'm competing for others too. You know, I'm giving it my all to help this person get to their next. Which is the same thing that I had as a mentality as a point guard. It's putting my teammates in the right position so we can all achieve. What do you say? Together, everyone achieves more.
Yeah,
So,
man. Team. That's what it means. Yeah. TEA.
yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. And then it can't be all glitter and gold for athletes and entrepreneurship. Where do they fall short? Where are the pitfalls? Where are the struggles of an athlete? I know, for me personally, when I played football, I knew that from January until August, I worked harder than you. I lifted heavier than you. I ran more sprints than you. Like, I knew for a fact that you didn't outwork me. So when the whistle blew and when that ball got snapped, I knew I was going to be able to physically dominate you.
Exactly.
I knew, there was nobody that got across from me that I knew physically. I'm not going to win. It just wasn't a fact. It wasn't a possibility.
I love to have a teammate like that. Hey, go get him.
I'm telling you, it didn't matter. Double team, triple team, whatever. Like you said, we're going to war.
Right.
And it's either me or you. Right. And so, to me, in business, I can't do that. Let's say it's this little old lady, man. Old lady, retirement.
Yeah, man.
She's trying to help her to make a decision that's going to better her life. I can't physically dominate, market share.
Yeah. You
got competition, people in different markets. Man. Like, I can't mentally.
That's so crazy you said that.
But what's the pitfalls for athletes? Where do they fall short?
Yeah, that's crazy you say that because I actually like football more than basketball because of the physical contact.
Yeah.
Physical contact. But man, it's the mental, it's understanding people, like emotional intelligence, human nature.
Yeah.
The 4 different types of people.
Okay.
They got I was about to go down a rabbit hole when it comes to, personalities and everything, but I would say just understanding people, having people fall in love with you.
Gotcha. It can't be all glitter and gold for athletes, man, in entrepreneurship, right? So where do you see most athletes struggle? What are the pitfalls that athletes might face if they're trying to enter into entrepreneurship, become a business owner, especially in America?
Yeah, I would say the mental part of it. I actually like football a little better than basketball because of the physical aspect of it. I can let my pain and anger out by crack back at people.
Oh yeah! Oh my goodness!
and like stiff arming people.
Yeah, legal bullying.
Legal bullying, Lord, legal bullying.
Yeah.
But man, when it comes to business, man, you gotta lead people by understanding people.
Yeah.
Understanding women and men, understanding Gen Zs, Gen Xs, millennials. Human nature. Emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Leadership skills.
Yeah.
Not by not by doing it a certain way. Like, you have to lead by example, by being a good role model.
Yeah.
And I would say the biggest thing people face is like, hey, this is not that. You got to use your brain. You got to be smart about the decisions that you're making. So I would say understanding people is probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because it's different.
Okay.
As an athlete, like, your teammates are on a whole different level of like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so understanding people, men, women, old, young.
Got you. Okay. So you grow up, you're an athlete, multi-sport athlete. You're probably thinking that sports is the thing that's going to free you. But it wasn't sports. It was business, entrepreneurship, right? What does it feel like to retire, Mom? Like, how did that feel, knowing that, whoa, in such a short, like you said, you were looking to condense your time frame. What's going through your mind? And when your mom's like, hey, I'm filing this paperwork.
I would definitely say, like, even when it comes to sports, the day you stop playing is the day you stop getting paid. And I had to ask myself, what has anybody in my family done to the point where they could go to sleep, wake up, everything is taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing in place for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was no business that was created or established. There was no systems that were put in place. So when I came across, you know, the financial services industry, and I can, you know, generate passive income by building and leading people, I said, okay, cool. I can create a pension for my mom with this business based off of the network marketing model tied to financial services. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, cool. When I came, when I came to her with the idea, I'm not gonna lie, she kind of thought I was crazy. Yeah. You know, like, why are you stopping? You know, what you worked so hard for your entire life. I'm like, I have a better plan. I have a better strategy. Look at the history behind, you know, financial services and network marketing and insurance with the right values, the right morals, the right mentorship, the right leadership. Yeah. Because you can be in a certain industry.
You see it on Instagram all the time, man. They got the women and they got the person, the language. Yeah, like, there's probably certain rooms that if someone's a married man or in a relationship or whatever, like, that spouse would not be comfortable or confident with that leadership. Exactly. You know, taking their husband or their wife away somewhere. Exactly. They wouldn't be confident in that person being behind closed doors. And it's just by what they're depicting. Right. You know, what are you valuing? Is it the love of money, or is it the love of serving, you know, others? But I cut you off.
No, it's important. And that's why meeting your spouse is important too when you get in business, because, like, you know, it's an entrepreneurship. So there may be times you come in the house at 12 p.m. at night, 1 in the morning, you know, 2 in the morning. And if I'm coming home, my spouse asks me, where am I coming from? And I'm saying, work. Yeah. Work. Yeah. Huh? What do you mean you come from work? Nah. So that's why it's super important, like you said, like, we meet the spouses and we show them, you know, the vision and why this person is about to sacrifice certain things to help, you know, the other spouse or the family, you know, be in a position where they don't have to worry about anything. So for me, helping my mom was very emotional for me, because she was willing to believe in her son and walk away from something she's been tied to for the past 10, 15, 20 years. Yeah. So it felt good, but it also put a huge responsibility on my back to make me go harder, because if my mom was willing to walk away from what she was doing the past 15, 20 years to trust in me and this opportunity, it's a no matter what for me to win. Yeah. I'm not taking a day off. I'm not stopping. You know, I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna have a strategy. I'm gonna have a plan. You know, I'm gonna lead people. I'm gonna put God first. Yeah. Because how much of a conflict would I be if this doesn't work? It has to work.
It's gotta work.
It has to work. So it felt great knowing I have a business model that can create a passive income stream for my mom, where she can go to sleep and wake up and not have to worry about anything, but also a huge responsibility on my shoulder. Yeah. Which is good. Pressure is good. Pressure is good, and it definitely made me who I am today. But it's phenomenal.
Okay. I mean, last but not least, man, if I'm an athlete, let's say I'm a up and coming guy, maybe I'm already at the collegiate level, maybe I'm at the pros. What's some advice that you would give to them to prepare them for what's next, or what's to come?
To prepare them what's next, what's to come? Yeah. This is probably the most valuable thing to say to athletes is while you are an athlete, broadcast your life. Like, people need to see what you're doing while you're there, because once you don't have it anymore, it's gone. Wow. So, I used to do this. All these, you know, all the stories, our uncles and, you know, our dads. It's like, where's the film? Where's the film? Where's the highlights? You know, where were you when you were signing autographs? Where were you when you were doing different commercials and brands? So I would say social media is so key, but don't use it for the wrong reasons. Yeah. Use it to build your personal brand. Okay. Use it to also make money from the internet. Yeah. Make why not, bro? You have so much influence on a platform, but once you get this income, steward it. Use it for the right reasons. Okay. A lot of times we use it for the wrong reasons. Yeah. You know, buying different things that are materialistic and don't gain any value or appreciate, like go invest in an asset, you know? Go put it in an index universal life insurance policy and borrow against it, use it as collateral to then go purchase an asset. That money in that policy continues to grow as if you never even took the money out. It's crazy because Allen Iverson, he had a Reeboks deal. Did you hear about the Reeboks deal?
So I know he couldn't touch his money until a certain age, but once that age hit, like he's basically got like a private pension or something like that.
100%, right? Okay. So he has something called an annuity. And there was an interview that Shaquille O'Neal had. And he said the best financial advice, one of the best financial advices he got was every athlete should have an annuity. Okay. Right? So you have an IUL, which is an index universal life insurance policy, and then you also have an annuity. It's mainly for retirement. But I believe they should have both and diversify their portfolio. And you know, a lot of times, and I didn't learn this until I was that guy. A lot of times when you get an agent, you know, they have different people managing their athletes' money. And sometimes the agents are getting paid under the table by misleading players, but they don't know they're misleading players. Gotcha. The financial advisor knows that they're misleading players. And it's like, think about it. I'm already paying taxes in every state that I play in. You know, a lot of these people that are going professionally, they're 20 years old, 21 years old. They can't touch that until 59 and a half. They're getting penalized again. Why don't you put that in the IUL? So not only if you get injured, you can get compensated in case they take away your contract, in case they cut you from the team. But you can also borrow from that and use it to invest in an asset. So
that's solid. Look, if you're an athlete and you don't really know much about money, if you're saying that you're trusting your financial success to somebody else, you're giving that responsibility to somebody else. Please educate yourself on money and financial literacy. If someone wanted to get in contact with you, they want to do business with you, maybe they want to learn your business model, they want to follow your leadership, how can they connect with you?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook at It's Burke, ITS BURKESWC. On all social media platforms. I'm also on LinkedIn. My first and last name, Isaiah Burke. That's probably, you know, one of the best ways to get in contact with me. I also have an email as well, but I would say my social media is the best way to get in contact with me.
Man, that's solid, man. You gave a lot of game today. We appreciate you having you on the call. The Mud Made Millions podcast is to get those people who have not given up yet, man. They feel like they're stuck, but they haven't given up yet. If this podcast, if it's giving you any type of value, change your mindset, your outlook on life, like, subscribe, and share this with somebody that's going to find value or benefit from hearing this information. Thank you very much.
Man, I appreciate it.
Yeah.